All right, yo, what up? I just saw this Facebook post, right? It says, "Does God allow evil? Is the existence of God compatible with dot dot dot?" And I can only assume the last word is evil. So, yo, what up? I'm gonna explain this. First I'm gonna give some backstory about myself. I got the chronic. Don't worry, it's legal now, YouTube. So don't take my video down. I'm just gonna be packing a bone while I fucking explain this shit. But first, let me explain y'all a little bit about myself, okay? First of all, I'm gonna grab my grinder. First of all, I'm a Luciferian, okay? Now, Luciferianism is not devil worship, all right? It is Lucifer means light bearer. My name is Christopher. That means Christ bearer. Suffix "-fer" means bear. Luz, L-U-X, that is the Latin word for light. L-U-Z is the Spanish word for light, but they're both pronounced loose. So, Lucifer is the light bearer. Luciferianism is the belief system of seeking out and spreading the light. The light is knowledge, basically. The light is knowledge and awareness, because when the room is dark, you can't see anything. You don't know what's going on around you. When you turn on the light, you can see everything. You know what's going on around you. So that's basically the standard of Luciferianism. It's closest I found in practice to Rastafarianism and Buddhism, because I was into Buddhism first, and on my spiritual journeys, one time I ran into a Rastafarian who was at the same spiritual place that I was. It was actually a hot springs on the side of a mountain, but I ran into a Rastafarian when I was having my spirit trip, and I found out that he was on the same journey that I was. We had that mental connection and everything going on. So basically, my belief system is not like, I'm not religious per se. You know what I'm saying? I believe in knowledge. I believe in knowing. I'm not agnostic. I'm not religious. I'm Gnostic. I like to know. Luciferianism is Gnosticism. Agnostic means to not know. Gnostic means to know. The G is silent. Oh, by the way, the G in the Mason ring means gnosis. I saw a Mason tell a non-Mason that the G stands for God, but it actually means gnosis, which means to know. So basically, does God allow evil? The question. So, here's the thing. Consciousness is the core of the universe. All things stem from the consciousness that we have. You might have heard before that consciousness creates reality, that reality does not, in fact, create consciousness. It is consciousness that creates conscious matter. Now, what is God? God is what is within you. God is your point of view, your consciousness. You are God being channeled through a physical entity. However, God himself is a non-physical entity, underlying and overlying the physical realm that we exist upon. Now, this isn't the only realm that exists. This is not the only place. We exist upon a certain wavelength, a certain frequency, and a certain vibration, okay? There are other dimensions that exist on different frequencies and different wavelengths. That's important to know. But God overlies and underlies all of this creation. So, basically, does God allow evil? Now, if you believe in God in the Christian sense, that he's, basically like a guardian angel, which do exist, there are guardian angels and they are all a part of God. Now, but if you're thinking of God in the Christian sense, the one that watches over, like a guardian angel, then it will seem that evil contradicts the idea of God. However, God is consciousness. God is the start of the universe. We can all agree with that. No matter who's talking about God, God to them is the beginning of all creation. We are creation, and that means that God is the beginning of us. Our brains act like a filter, which take consciousness and basically, divide our consciousness from the great consciousness into a little sliver. We are all tiny pieces of the universe, tiny pieces of God. And you'll notice that when you say God in the universe, most times, they're interchangeable in the sentence. Like, oh, I feel like God has it out for me. That's the same as saying, I feel like the universe has it out for me. God must really love me. The universe must really love me. God gives me everything I need. The universe gives me everything I need. So as you can see, the two phrases, the two terms are completely interchangeable. Are they the same concept? Basically, arguably not, but to me, basically, they're the same concept. So, knowing that God is our beginning and that we are created by God, there's only one consciousness, right? But God can split up his consciousness into the living world so that he can experience his own creation, which is actually the point of creation. Because if you're God and you exist but nothing else does, and you're just there and you just realize that you're this singular consciousness and this black nothing, then chances are you're probably going to get bored, lonely, whatever. We have emotions, and these emotions have to come from somewhere. So that goes to show that God has emotions. Now, I've gotten my backstory out of the way and rambled on a little bit, of course, but here's my point. Does God allow evil? Well, here's my basis. We are God. For the reasons that I've explained and with the logic that I've explained, we are God. We are the ones that are creating our own universe. We are each creating our life and making decisions that dictate and control how our life goes. We are all responsible for our lives. There are some people who are younger who don't feel that they are, but I guarantee, even if you feel like your whole life isn't your fault, you are responsible for your life. You are the God of your own life. You are the master of your own domain. You are the one that creates your own reality. Nobody else can create your reality for you. People can do things to you, but they cannot dictate your reality for you. That's you. You're in charge of that. So, you are the God of your own reality. And together, we're all working together to create this life, to create this world, to create this universe. So like I said, since we're all co-creating the universe, we're all God, all of us together. And not only the humans, not only the animals, not only the plants, but every little thing that exists is God. So, does God allow evil? Here's the thing. I'm going to use an example. Like I said, it's legal now. It's legal in Oregon. So I'm just going to show you this and use this as an example. If you smoke every day, you're going to get a tolerance. Eventually, you won't be able to get high anymore. You'll be smoking because you like the taste or whatever, I guess, but you're not going to get high if you try to fucking do it every day. Now, trust me, you can say, yeah, you will. You're just smoking Reggie, but I'm not smoking Reggie. I'm not. Trust me, I've been smoking for about 10 years now. If you try to smoke every day, you're going to get tolerance. You're not going to be able to get high anymore. That's just the way it is. You got to have the sobriety there to balance it out. If you don't have sobriety to balance out the highs, then high is going to become baseline. Your high is just going to be your normal, and you're not going to feel anything when you're high because you're always high. That's just normal to you. But when you sober up, it's going to suck. It's not going to be horrible because this is just weed. But imagine if you're on heroin, meth, cocaine, crack. You sober up, you're going to feel like fucking shit. You're going to feel horrible. You're going to question your own sanity. That is why you need sobriety in between your highs. Because if you don't have sobriety in between your highs, the high no longer exists. It's just normal. You're just doing this to feel normal. So, that goes into happiness and sadness, which we can also equate to positivity and negativity, good and evil. Why? And by the way, let's just imagine I'm using all three phrases at the same time. Positivity, good, I forgot the third one, so let's just say light. And then there's evil, badness, darkness. Positivity on one side, negativity on the other side. It works the same way as the example of being and getting high that I just gave you. It works the same way. If you don't have any negativity to balance out the positivity, then the positivity becomes nothing. Happiness becomes nothing. And that is why in this universe, in this creation, given the dynamics of it, at least in this part of the universe, in this part of creation, we have good and evil. That is why we have duality. Because if there was not duality, then there would just be nothing. We would not be able to experience the higher emotions of love, joy, and happiness if we did not have the lower emotions of negativity, pain, and suffering, of heartbreak. We wouldn't be able to experience love without heartbreak. We wouldn't be able to experience joy without sadness, and we wouldn't be able to experience happiness without depression. That's why we have evil in this world. That's why we have negativity and pain in this world. That's why when you're living life, everything goes up and down, seemingly forever. Because we need the lows to create the highs. The whole point of this universe is to enjoy ourselves and to find happiness in this creation. And if there's no sadness, then there can be no happiness. So, does God allow evil? The answer is that God created evil. Of course, God allows evil. Is it compatible with the Bible? I don't know. Maybe not. Is it compatible with the idea of God? Yes. But you might have to separate the idea of God from the Bible because, think of it this way. The Bible is only 3,000 years old, but God is eternal. Now, do you think a group of 12, maybe 20 men can really just write a book and say, hey, this is God. This is all there is? No. We all have our own experience. We all have our own life. We're all living our own creation, creating what is laid out before us. So obviously the Bible it's not universal. It's not for everybody. Everybody has their own truth. And God definitely transcends the Bible. You cannot contain God in a single book. You can describe parts, faces, angles, and things about God, but you can't capture all of God in one book. So, my answer is yes. God does allow evil. God created evil. If you've watched this whole thing, thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. Never did end up smoking because I was focusing on this. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So, normally I rap or something. There's not going to be a rap. I'm not going to fucking stick my rap at the end of a 12-minute video. But, y'all guys, have a great fucking day and all that.